welcome to Everything Football. My name is Zola Banji. I'm here with Timmy. Yeah, this Timmy's first time with us, or it's not his first time doing analysis anyway. But yeah, so it's been a while, due to technical difficulties. We've not been able to record stuff in a while, so hopefully we are back now. So I'm just going to be talking about Man U, the Tricky Reds. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Man U, their performances so far this season. The game against City on Sunday, brief recap on Champions League fixture, and EFL Cup versus Newcastle. So yeah, how far?
Yeah, I'm good. It's nice to be here to discuss the Tricky Reds. and I mean, as a United fan, I feel so many things, but then at the end of the day, it feels like we are so far from success and glory as we've ever been. But I'm not of that opinion, Charles. You know me. I think
over 10 years.
I think we're just on the right path, and we are closer than we do actually think. Yes, it's been over 10 years, and that's just terrible. If you look at it, it's really hard to take. And I would say I understand where a lot of United fans are coming from with their criticism of the team, the players, and of the managerial team. Eric Ten Hag to be precise, a lot of the tactical decisions we've seen this season hasn't provided the results you would expect, and it looks as though he's just as clueless, in quotes, as the previous managers that have been sacked. I know you definitely agree that his decisions have not been it.
He's a poet. He's a poet. He's coming in. One of the things I said was, I wanted him. It's not like I didn't want him, because it was my second option anyway. But knowing that Man U was not going to go for Pochettino, I knew he's the next best thing. But he has been privileged. Like from things that I saw from his days as a coach at Bayern Munich, to when he crossed to FC Utrecht to Ajax, he has always had like a system. It has always been like a system in place for him. All he just has to do is come and when you're arranging stuff, when you're building, so he has always been in that structure where the building, they don't build and finish, he just made them roof am. So it's the roofing, the shiny. So he has not had to be in this type of dysfunctional system, where before you even scout a player, different people has to sign. You get. So him now having the final say
on many things,
on a lot of things, one would think it should help him move forward faster. But because he has not been in this type of environment, he's used to scouting is for this department, this director of football. All I just have to do is tell him the qualities I need from each player, and they will give me options that I'll pick from. You get, for cheap money. So you get. So now he's in Man U. First, the type of players that he's dealing with are different. You are dealing with stars here. Forget where they bought them from. Once they enter Carrington, Old Trafford, they are stars. If they can buy them for 5 naira, they can buy them for 5 billion or 50 million. They are stars. You cannot treat the way you treat players in Ajax. Ajax is a feeders. There's the Ajax that is selling club.
I mean, I get your drift, and I just feel like that just also fit into the argument that this isn't at all Ajax's fault. And you said it is in a dysfunctional system, and maybe we were wrong to think that a manager like Ten Hag will come into a United setup that we had 2 years ago and it would change things. Because if you examine where we were at the time when he came, I mean, it was after Ragnick. It seemed as though we're going to get relegated, and we didn't know what we're doing. And then we brought him in, saw a bit of of progress, won a trophy for the first time in 7 years. That is not insignificant, if you ask me. It takes a lot of confidence and a lot of momentum to be able to do that.
Up to 7 years.
Yeah, I think it's been up to 7 years. 2013, no, 2017, 2017, 2018 under Jose Mourinho, we won the Europa League. And stuff. But my point is, he has come into a team in transition. When you talk about the managerial shortcomings of the club, hopefully we are coming to the end of that, and that's why I said we might be closer to the end of the tunnel than we think. It is good to criticize the things that have happened, but fundamentally, I feel like it isn't at all Erik ten Hag's fault, and everything he has done at the club is despite the situation he has to manage in. And then you talk about United players coming into United to become stars. I think that is problematic. I mean, it is true, but it is very, very problematic, especially with the situation we are. For 10 years now, we've been terrible. We've not been.
It's not entirely a function of the club. It's a big factor is the fans.
Yeah.
For example, now I see Garnacho. Garnacho cannot enter any of the top 8. He cannot enter their bench. Like, you'll be struggling.
No.
I'm telling you the truth. But
you would the bench as some of.
He will not make the bench. Where? Mention which club? Which club?
You will make the bench at Arsenal.
Wait, Smith-Rowe is still struggling to get minutes, and that's a player that is more tactically disciplined, that can play a lot of roles.
I mean, you look at the midfield of Arsenal, it's choked. You would understand why someone like Smith-Rowe is not getting playing.
Reece Nelson is not getting as much minutes.
You said make the bench. He doesn't have to get minutes.
Reece Nelson barely makes the bench for every game week. Are you telling me Garnacho is better than Nelson?
So maybe Arsenal is a far cry, but it will definitely make the top.
Yeah.
It will make the Aston Villa.
He's not benching Brian Hill. The guy is back. He makes the bench this weekend. He's not. See. Yes, I get that. Man, we like
not going to like players. I don't agree with that.
I'm not coming. I'm saying the truth as it is. You see, in terms of who deserves to get more minutes, I've been saying this since last season. Pelistri is ahead of all of them, but the disadvantage he has is his stature. He will get bullied a lot in league games, you know. But Garnacho is a little, taller, and he has more upper bodies.
And he has goals, yo.
How many goals?
He bangs in goals. I think
you see, let's stay on the facts now. You cannot absolve Ten Hag of any blame. We are not doing him a favor. I mean, he's not doing us a favor. He would not get any job this big. Bro, we're talking about Man U. If you're not talking about Man U, you talk about Real Madrid, Barca. Which other club will you mention before you mention Man U when it comes to the football pedigree, the commercial aspect?
Yeah.
But he cannot get another top job of this caliber if he doesn't make it work at Man U.
I don't think you can conclude that though.
Bro, how many top clubs have taken a chance on coaches with his type of resume? Let's be honest. In the last 5 years, I'm not talking about the likes of Tottenham now. We're talking about top clubs.
I mean, Klopp came for Dortmund and he was given time to succeed.
In the last 5 years, Klopp entered Champions League final with Dortmund now. He won league back.
Ajax was in the semi-final with Ten Hag was in the semi-final.
When? 1 year ago.
2019.
What happened after that time?
They go back.
Most of the success has been in the league now. It's not
exactly.
This guy got to the final.
We're talking about struggling in the league after he left. If they were such a
they were struggling before he came.
Yes, now what does that say?
That is a good fit for Ajax. It doesn't necessarily translate to Man U. These are two different.
I think that we can't know that he's not a good fit for Manchester United. Why? And I feel like this goes back to the situation the club is in. I would say this so many times that irrespective of the manager that comes, irrespective of the manager that comes to United, whatever they achieve or whatever success they have is despite the situation at the club, and whatever failure they have is because of the situation of the club. Let us go to the history since Sir Alex Ferguson. You have David Moyes. You could argue that he probably didn't know what he was doing. He couldn't manage the egg of the players, but you could also argue that if he had a very good, what's it called, board ahead of him, he would have been able to see through that season, and they probably have actually sat down to build the squad properly like it's meant to happen. Now they sacked him, brought in a Van Gaal who actually had a project that started. Again, he was let down by the board, sacked after winning a trophy. Then we go on to bring in Mourinho, who also won trophies. Yes, it seems that was joking. Mourinho plays.
You are making excuses.
Mourinho plays like it looks like Mourinho played negative football. Wasn't in again United's philosophy, but at the end of the day, he did win trophies, and it looked like it was the closest thing to be able to challenge Pep and Klopp at the time. What happened? He was let down again. He didn't get the players he wanted, and he got sacked. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came with not a lot of expectation, and it showed that yes, our squad was actually really good and they could achieve stuff. But then you would argue that maybe Solskjaer and the players at the time didn't have the mentality to win. But I would say at the end of the day, he was still let down by the board. Why did we bring Ronaldo? No, I'm not attacking his ability as a player. I said people was getting him because I mean it's very nostalgic, fine. But Ronaldo should have been something that we had actually it was either going to be the trigger to lead us to success or be the man to take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job from him. And that was what happened. We made so much progress under Solskjaer. And then the thing with United fans is we are so insufferable. I tweeted this yesterday. We don't calm down to analyze stuff and just see what is actually the reason why we are having problems. When something goes wrong, we forget everything that has happened and start banging on the most recent situation, right? At the time when Radley was there and we're losing, we're not as terrible as United fans made it seem, and that was why it seemed as though Ten Hag overachieved in his first season. He said it that he's not a magician. What this type of season we had last year showed the level we are as a club. Honestly, that is what we could have achieved at the most. And now this is the second season. Due to many things, injuries, maybe Ten Hag himself is a stubborn man. No, he is a stubborn man. That's well documented in all the teams he's been in. And maybe he doesn't have the tactical nose to take a United team forward. But we wouldn't know with the situation surrounding the club at the time. That's what I'm still going to say. Let us get this over with. Get the owners out. Get a competent board in, and then we'll be able to actually judge whichever manager is there. I think at the end of the day, that is still what is important. Look at Liverpool. Before Klopp came and succeeded, they were in this sort of cycle for so many years until they brought in, until FSG decided to get serious and bring in Michael Edwards, who together with Klopp built the team up. In his first 2 seasons, they struggled. They didn't win anything. They were out of all the cup competitions. It was like Liverpool are not good. But eventually, which final just won the Europa League final in the time, and that was in his first season. It was just that one Europa League final they got into. They beat the team. I will cite Arsenal too. Arsenal were crap for so many years until Kroenke decided that alright, I would actually focus on this club. Brought in Edu, who built the team with Arteta. The same thing with Manchester City. They had really good managers, and until Pep came, I feel at the end of the day, we cannot really know. We can't know for sure that these managers are not as good as they are supposed to be. We can't know for sure that they're actually terrible if the board in charge of the club doesn't know what they are doing. If the structure is not there, any manager would struggle. Pep Guardiola will not use his 3 years if he was at United. Trust me, he will probably resign if he's not getting what he wants. Do you think Pep Guardiola worries about all of these things? No, he doesn't. He has a board that does, and I think that's why they have seen results. So I would just beg United fans around the world, honestly, I get that we are a top club, we should be getting results, and it is not acceptable for us to play the way we have been playing. But it is a process. I mean, I'm so sorry to Arsenal fans for like banting them for saying trust the process all these years. But then I need United fans to actually trust the process. We are in a freaking process. Is it not good or not? We will know after we get the Glazers out of the club. If after that, I mean, and I'm giving that to the end of this to the end of the season. We're going to have a new structure in place before May. If at the end of that time we still see that Erik ten Hag doesn't have what it takes, he's too stubborn, I mean, you can always sack him. It will be the start of a new era. You now bring the new manager in and see. But I'm tired of us always. Exactly, that's the problem. How many managers do you want to sack and bring? Let's stick with one and see what he has to do.
You cannot absolve the managers of their blame solely because the structure is not good. The kind of budget club has been working with before they started splashing money this summer.
And they suffered for it.
Yeah, they suffered for it last season.
2 seasons.
No, last season. This season before last season,
yeah,
they suffered. And what happened? The last 2 seasons, they won 2 trophies. That was with the same set of players. Yes, the 3 seasons ago that they had defensive issues. Then the last 2 seasons that they won 2 league games.
The that club had was just a period of 18 months.
Obviously, when you don't invest in your team, you will struggle along the line.
When you don't invest correctly,
they invested in the team. I'm not talking about Man U now. I'm talking about club. He made you work with what he had, and that's why I rate club ahead of every other coach. And you, whatever tactics you like, drop. When you face club, you will know that you face opponents. He made you work. You talk about Arsenal and Edu. This guy worked with chicken change for like the first 2 years. That's why he took
results like.
Yes, that's why it took longer. Bro, my phone is on here. This guy has spent 390 something million, about like 395 million in less than, it's not even up to 18 months. 12 July, August, September, October, in 16 months, and we are this shitty.
When has Man U not spent money that much? And the players
as much as
United went to PSG.
2 statements can be right.
Yes,
the structure in the club is not it. But newsflash, the structure at Man U has been terrible since the Glazers bought it. Every Man U fans should know this. We just had Gill and Ferguson that understood each other, and Ferguson tried to make majority of it work. We went for 1.5 years that the only player we bought in January was Smalley, and we still let's just forget about Ferguson era. In this world, you are not getting any coach that is staying at a club for 10 years. If you get praise the Lord.
I think club is in 8th season, right?
Praise God.
I think so, yeah.
You will not get, but club is one of the exceptional ones. So Liverpool are fortunate. But you will not get any coach that will survive that long in the club. We have a manager that is stubborn. The guy like I've been saying since last season, he's a poet. There's nothing you want to tell me. He has the ideas and all that, but in terms of execution, he's lacking. I will keep saying it. You see people like Angie, see Dijabi, see all those guys.
Dijabi?
No, Dijabi, yeah. It didn't take long for them to implement their tactics. Let me use Klopp as Pep as an example. So Ten Hag and Pep, they have slightly similar style, but the major difference is the transition, the build-up play. Pep likes to use a structured system where each player has a specific role. Ten Hag likes to dabaru, mix it up, say make everybody fit do everything. No, so like, and that's one of the things why we are struggling, because
our players are not technical.
In the build-up aspect, it's so, for you to play his style, you need to have played under him for a while. Even if you buy the best tactical discipline players, because you are not to do exactly one thing. You have to do whatever your situation, whatever meets you at your point. So like, it takes like a lot of time for you to like fully understand that type of, and you need specific type of players, mind you. So now Pep's first season, he didn't do poorly, but compared to his standards, it was not good enough. But you could see that first season, there were very few clubs that outplayed them, Pep style. they play their system, they struggle to score goals, they struggle to create chance, and he implemented the system under first half of the season. So you know, like people like Sagna, Fernando, Clichy, all those guys, you know that okay, these guys are not it for my system. So they knew people they were going to sell. They knew, you know, positions that were critical and positions that they could go on for a season. Now this is my big issue with all the managers Man U has hired, and this is down to Moyes and Vanguard that sold half of the team without replacing. When you come in and you implement your system, it makes the process faster, because you know this guy is not capable. This player probably needs a few months. This one probably needs a low move in a club that plays this type of system. So like a lot of all this, the guy that tried, you know, aside Jose, the guy that tried was Ragnick, but I felt let down by Ragnick because to me he was a coward. You don't abandon your system under 45 minutes. It wasn't up to 45 minutes. His first game against Palace. Then I was left questioning, like, what did you talk about in your negotiations with the team?
Before you came.
For a club not to sign a player for you in January, not even loan. Do you know how much, like, they're not rate you be that.
Welcome to the Glazers regime.
It's not about saying, see. What took so long for Ten Hag to accept the job? He had the stamps and he made sure Man U agree to his stamps. Whatever you are doing, I have the final say. He has the final say on all the players Man U has bought, all the players Man U has let go. Now him they make decisions. So this comes again to me talking about him coaching in places that there's a system that he didn't have to. So he doesn't understand some of these things. To me personally, I feel he doesn't have eye for talent. Yeah, that's me personally. Yeah. He talks about last season. He talked a lot about physicality. He talked a lot about having to retain ball. Who did he go to purchase? His first purchase, Mount. Like completely different. Now, if we were selling Bruno, or Bruno was leaving after the season, that Mount deal would have made sense, because they are in a lot of ways they are very similar, except Mount retains the ball better than Bruno
and less creative.
Is the you see, to me I wouldn't necessarily call, but this is a conversation for another day. Bruno is creative, but I wouldn't necessarily call him a creative player compared to players like Odegaard, because a lot of his stuff are like now
when
you see it is subjective.
But it is not. I mean, the stats are there to show it. We've seen
the stats are there to show it, because he's always spamming the ball. And how many of those balls are, you know, successful?
Yeah.
That's when I have issue with. If he played under Klopp or he played under Pep, all these things will have reduced. And I blame this on Solskjaer, because he enabled Euro ball in Man U well. Euro ball grew intensively under Oli, and he's still around it today. I can count games that Man U scored a nice team goal, blah blah blah. Most of our games are always, you know, individual brilliance. It's hardly, you know, we knock and create chance. They take.
So I do think now that, like, this issue goes back now to team building, right? If we're going to talk about United, you want to say manager build his own team and like actually get what he wants. I agree that Ten Hag's talent ID is very questionable, highly questionable. But then when you look at the sort of transfer decisions we have made over the last 7 to 10 years, you start to feel like even if we got a very good talent team, at the end of the day we still don't go for the best players. There's always an issue with our recruitment, and that's just one of the many documented problems we have. Now you talk about
like since under Solskjaer now,
yeah,
the final decision has always been down to the coach.
Yeah,
I was against Solskjaer. In fact, all the managers Man you have hired, except for a little bit, maybe Jose, I've been against it because I knew it was not going to work out. But if Man U would have changed, well, Oli would have changed it, because he had the fans backing he had
a good managerial team.
So like they gave him a lot of free, and that was one of, to me personally, I feel like that was one of the reasons why the Ten Hag situation, like the appointment, took a little longer, because with the kind of power they gave Solskjaer, they expected him to at least win something. So to me now, I feel like it went longer, because they were like, is it worth giving him that type of power we gave? But eventually they folded and he has it now. But so far most of his decisions, in a way, there is improvement. I will not
deny
that.
Yeah.
There is improvement in terms of the team structure, in terms of the way we defend as a team. That's where the major improvement is. It's not like it is good though, but there is an improvement compared to under Solskjaer.
Yeah.
At least now they understand a little bit about defending as a team. It's still poor anyway, but it's better.
It's way better, yeah.
So like there are like few things that are better, but in general, I feel like he has not done the type of job Arteta did that enabled Edu to give him that extra 1 year, which was last season. Because his second season, if not that Edu was a level-headed,
he would have been sacked. And I feel like that just brings me to the point I wanted to make before you say this. The situation that United have been over the last 7 to 10 years has led us to this point. And you recall I said that the results we achieved last season is like the level the team can get to win a domestic cup and fight to finish third or fourth. That is our level. Really, exactly. My prediction too is like we'll not be fourth or fifth thereabouts. I feel like that's the level of United. But then we fans have this opinion that okay, one guy comes in and we start challenging again. Fundamentally, what we need to see is like improvement in how we play, whether or not we dominate, whether or not we have like a very obvious style. And I feel like why a lot of people get confused is I said Ten Hag is not coming to make us a team that dominates. Not in the sense that fans expect that we keep 60% possession every game and have 11 shots on target while our opponents struggle to even get the touch of the ball. No, United have never been like that. And like you said, Ten Hag is a poet. He wants to recreate create a new era that has the identity of the very successful United side under Ferguson. And that's where I feel like maybe we have not seen a progress from what we were last season, because towards the end of the season, this thing did not just start this season. If you like follow the team, it started towards the end. It started towards the end of the season when I think we lost all our midfielders and it was just Casey or McTominay. Then we realized there was a way we could actually play compact and still rely on a lot of transitions and not actually need to keep the ball and stuff. And we did that. Our form went down and it was terrible till the FA Cup final, and we just sort of fizzled out after that very good run. And then they tried to continue that this year, but with the situations around injuries, the team, not getting the players as soon as he wanted them, you could say that yes, maybe we've not gone to where we are supposed to be. But I still feel like at the end of the day, when you contextualize everything that has happened with United, where we are coming from and where we are now, I don't think this is the time for fans to start questioning the job of Erik Ten Hag. Fundamentally, we are not as good as we should be. Yes, have we made very, very obvious progress? Maybe not, but we are not where we were 2 years ago. And that is what I need fans to understand. This guy is having to do so many things. He's having to think about a lot of things. I don't think people realize how huge a club like United is. With all the media attention, with all the problematic board, Ten Hag is still trying to do what he has to do. And he led the team to 2 finals, 1-1. Only couldn't do that. He already has one big thing over Oli. He won that final. And you could argue that take away the errors in the FA Cup final, maybe we could have taken the game to penalties, maybe we could have won. There's a lot of maybes here, but then at least we did win one. We did finish third, and even this season is just 10 weeks. It is still a very, very small sample size. Don't forget we were crap before the World Cup last season too. It is a very small sample size for us to decide that okay, this guy doesn't know what he's doing and we need to start thinking about the next manager. I think fundamentally we've made some progress under him. He's still getting his work done. I mean, he has had some very high raising decisions. But I don't think it is something where we fans now need to start asking for explanation for every decision. I've been like dragging with my friends on our group chat as regards the decision to bring Eriksen for Amrabat instead of McTominay. We won the game. Yes, you could argue that with Eriksen and Amrabat, you get more control. But then there's a lot of nuance that we don't see. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that we are not privy to. It is the little things we know that we are using to make our suggestions and say, okay, this is what the manager should do. That is what the manager that's what he shouldn't do. At the end of the day, we largely do not know, and we need to just wait and see where we get from here. What we should be focused on is us being actually able to get this whole
I'm going to tell you
takeover thing. We should be able to get this takeover thing done with. Let us have a good footballing structure, and then see the results we get. Then for now, you people should probably hibernate and just enjoy the games as much as you can, because Ten Hag will still make so many questionable decisions. Ten Hag will still be the stubborn guy he is. He's still not going to play Perisic where you want him to play him. He's still probably going to play McTominay over Mount in some games. But at the end of the day, we need to see those things give us results. Now we finally have some momentum this season. 3 wins on the bounce. That is what I'm actually excited about. Can we string up some wins and get our season started? We did not start the season badly in terms of playing. We just couldn't get the results. I mean, it isn't late. When did we get our league started last season? And Antonio Conte came and won the league after they had been crap for like 7 weeks or thereabouts. It is still really early in the aspect. And I think this is a good segue going into the Manchester derby on Sunday. Now we have a big game that would actually do a lot of good to the confidence of the players. With where we are right now, what is your feeling ahead of that game?
I'll tell you what is going to happen. After the win was it on Sunday? Yeah, somebody was like, one guy on Twitter was like, a win is a win, but we cannot go on like this anymore. I was just laughing because if a win is a win, then why can't you continue like that? And that was what I'll be saying last season. Like, you people will enjoy your honeymoon period. I knew like this season, you see
this thing will show.
You cannot go on tugging it out. It is what it is, man. I'm not. You are an optimist, and I'm happy for you.
See,
but that's fine.
I'm not trying to be. See, I don't enjoy being because I get let down a lot. I mean, I'm also a fan who has emotions and who doesn't want to see my team lose. But I think it is better for me to just
to an extent
and see what the manager has to
I
do.
can feel like the objectivity, like your analysis. Yeah. Yes, I get. So like I feel like I don't have to say much. When it happens, you will know that yeah, I was just being an optimist. But it's not like I don't like Ten Hag or I don't think he's doing a good job. I don't think he's doing a good job. I think he's doing an okay job.
A decent job.
Yes. I feel he could be doing better. And that's because
despite
me, I'm not a because of kind of person that because of I'm a despite type of person that in spite of the structure, in spite of this, and that's why I will keep calling Klopp. I don't want to call Sir Alex because I don't want to rope any new guy into Wahala because you are doing them a lot of you are bringing Sir Alex, I'll keep calling Klopp because of what he had to work with. Considering Pep was in the league, like you said, Man City, they poach most of their recruitment, their data, their recruitment analysts, their performance analysts, their scouting system. Most of them were bought from Barcelona before Pep. So they already put the pieces of the puzzle in place for him to just come and. So like I'm not even going. So that's why I'm like anybody that is coming to the league. Just most likely what you are going to do is give Klopp a little to keep him on his toes. Chances that Liverpool had 99 points. It was just a 1 point difference
COVID
for like 10. No, this was the year after COVID. They won the league COVID season.
Yeah.
This next season they had 99 points and this people had 100 points.
City.
Yes, now just
that
1
season
point.
It ended on the
And
last
it was just 1 point for like last 10 games, and like they both were winning everything.
Yeah.
So like with Pep in the league, bro, all you will do is try. Grace of God can give you the rest, but all you will do is try. That's what I believe in personally, because those guys buy smartly.
Yeah.
They will not buy. If they buy 70 million
Again, we're
player,
talking about structure, Banji.
that's what I'm saying. That anybody that is coming, I'm not saying you're coming to. Delusional Man fans think whoever you bring will come and challenge and win.
Trophy.
The best you will do is challenge for until like week 30. Then leave the rest to Klopp and Pep. That's
Or
or now leave the rest to Klopp, Pep and Arteta.
Yeah.
You know, but so far so good. Me personally, I still think this guy will spend one more season after this. I think we'll spend 3 seasons.
Yet, no.
I think it's not a function of him. He will leave,
Eventually.
bro. He will leave if he doesn't change. I'm still like,
Skeptical.
I'm not necessarily skeptical, because I knew this would happen. I knew this could happen, but I didn't expect this to happen for this long.
Yeah.
You know, you are supposed to learn from games. For example, now you see Dalot. Dalot's crosses are terrible. Now it's left to you and your performance analyst to at least advise him to cut back, which is what this guy does a lot now. Wan-Bissaka, and at least 2 out of every 4 it meets the target.
The same performance analyst that worked with Wan-Bissaka to get
Yes,
into
yes. Now this is, if they are like talking to these players and they are showing them that these are things that, at least from watching Man City's Amazon stuff and Arsenal, these are things that we all saw. So why will you keep telling Rashford to not track back? Because a lot of people don't know this. Rashford not tracking back is a function of the coach's decision. Now that's what doesn't like exclude Rashford from jogging or walking when a player is moving the ball in front of him.
Yeah,
that's a different thing. You still have to like put pressure on. But like in general,
is the free player in the system,
instruction from the manager is he should not come back. You know, and like you watch some of the games where he's been asked not to come back. Maybe some games I played as a left wing forward, like Arsenal, and you saw how exposed Shaw was. So this is where like a lot of Man U fans have issues with him. He's in game most times. Most times it's like 6 out of 10, not 8 or 9 out of 10 now. His in-game management is not good enough. So we always end up having to react at the later part of second half. And like it's not me, I'm not that type of person. I'm a type of person from the onset start going. Don't come and be looking for comeback at the end. Don't stress. How long do you want to keep coming? You know, like is a most of like having to come back has to do with more of like the mental fortitude of the players. How long do you want to keep doing that before they get worn out mentally? But you know what? Let's move on. For his sake, I hope he will stop being stubborn. One,
he won't stop being stubborn. That's something.
He has to be. Hold on. Pep will change. Even Klopp.
Well,
that season where his defenders had injury, they kept on playing Fabinho and Henderson up until like last, was it 7 games or 8 games of the season? No, not last season. Last 3 seasons.
Last season, so the same thing happened.
The last season was midfield.
Yeah, like
last season was midfield. That they now had to like quarter of Champions League. They now started playing this. They've loaned him out now. This Nat Phillips and one other centre back in their positions. That he now talked about in press conference that he wished he had made that decision earlier instead of playing his midfielders. Everybody, this is Premier League. You will change.
To grow.
And that's one of the things that is holding him back, because he wants to prove. Like you don't need to prove to anybody.
But I feel like with Ten Hag, right? As long as he's stubborn, I don't think he's averse to growth, especially as a Premier League manager. And I think I 100% support with your this thing, because even Pep, his system has sort of changed from when he came from the first 2 seasons when he dominated. No, the second 2 seasons to like 2 seasons ago.
Pep, please.
Yeah.
And when you see it, like, you you know he just wants to control.
Exactly. And there are other games where
you know there will be that 1-2 chance where you make mistake and they score, and all they have to do is so like
okay.
it prepares, like, and that's sorry for cutting you.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I always like, this guy is not doing enough on Ten Hag, because you cannot approach each game. Again, I don't want to compare anybody with Fergie, but that's what made Fergie very different. He didn't approach each opponent the same way.
But actually, when you look at our season last year and now, it does actually change.
No,
it does, because there are times when I remember
because
a lot, because we had a lot of we had to react a lot in game, and even after some like injury concerns or some losses last season, even during that run we had, we were not good in all the games. There are certain games where like we're terrible, and then the next game we probably need to draw, and then we will try to close up. I feel like at the end of the day, whatever change you can make, or whatever growth that would happen to Ten Hag would also be as a result of the team he has. He has to go with his team, and if he still has a dysfunctional squad, it is really hard for us to see whatever growth he
currently is dysfunctional because of the decisions he makes. You cannot
the squad did not reach this based on Ten Hag's decisions alone, and that's something that I don't want to. I'm not absolving him of blame or anything, but we are here because of decisions from 10 years ago. That is what has led us to this point. Ten Hag has not from them, like every year up until that now. It is Banji, it is, and now Ten Hag's 18 months is part of that. Ten Hag's 18 months has been part of that, and in that period we've seen little progress. We've won a trophy, and we are still in transition. Banji, should he grow? Yes. Should he make better tactical decisions? Yes. But all of that is still within the confines of the team he has on.
Last 10 years.
Why not?
It is a factor, but it's not a major factor. He has had every chance to get rid of majority of these players, but he's stuck with them.
Because the club can't sell.
Who told you the club can't sell?
They've tried to sell and have failed.
The club can't sell because they don't want to sell.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
Who did the club want to sell that they don't offer for?
The club tried to sell Link. Now, like they won't just sell at a crappy price, because
they got 35 million for McTominay.
They didn't get 35 million for McTominay. They got 30 million for McTominay. It was 30.
These people like bumped up their offer to 70, 35.
See, at the end of the day, right? For someone like Maguire now, you will say we should have sold him and he should have left.
You guys can keep making excuses for them. No problem. I hope you guys get your wish. Like I said, I knew they were not selling to Qatar. I've said this last season. Everybody thought I was joking, but they've seen that he's the guy that they are selling the little to.
Who's guy?
I think that's what was going to happen. The Jimmy guy. That's what's going to. Now it's a business for them.
The problem with Jim Ratcliffe taking over.
I don't have a problem with either of them. You see, I hope to coach one day. Hopefully soon. I coach anyway currently, but not on that type of level. It's more of a volunteer thing for now. To me, I feel like yes, it's nice when you have a general manager or a director of football that you both understand each other. But if you don't have that and like all decision is left to you, for me, all the best. Especially if you have eye for talent, or So you people talking about, fans talking about most of the things Old Trafford is looking. Yes, they should do better and all this stuff. But me, I'm concerned about the football. Now you cannot tell me these guys have not done well in terms of putting. Even if it's the same money that we are making, that they are putting back. Sure, you get. Every season, these people have always spent over 150, between 150 and 200. Now, if you have a manager or a structure that, they are shrewd in terms of negotiation, in terms of their choice, man, you should be way better than this. It brings me back to Anthony, 90 million. Bro. Let's move on. Just there's no point talking about.
We should talk about the game.
There's no point talking. Yeah, the game on Sunday. They're going to lose now. There's nothing to talk about. Yes, they will fight. They will give the initial fight like they always do, but they will lose. I mean, who is going to play at the back? Irrespective of who plays, they will lose. Yeah, we'll get fortunate and get maybe because City has the midfield. There has been a lot of rotation, not a lot, but there have been a few rotations, and like they are trying to gel and click. They're still in their gelling phase, that midfield, especially with De Bruyne out. So if we can take advantage of that in transition, the way Man U team is currently, the team is built for counter-attacking games. If you are trying to retain possession with McTominay that would have 30-something touches in 90 minutes, and you are playing him as a centre midfielder, and you want to come and tell me that's not a function of the coach? I've been watching McTominay since under Jose. Unless you want to use him for dirty work, he has no business playing deep in the midfield. He hides from the ball. He's not good under pressure with the ball. So why on earth, with Ten Hag's possession style, will you keep him as a centre midfielder? It makes no sense. Last season when he first came, he played Fred as a defensive winger or a right midfielder. He played him as a midfielder but from the flank. Then later in the half of season, like second half of season, later in second, he started playing him as a deep line. Bro, there's no point talking about it. So I feel Man U will try. They can try. If they avoid getting a red card in the first half, it won't be if they avoid getting a red card in the first half, it will not be a humiliating defeat. I feel it to be a close, maybe all this kind of 2-1, and they might be fortunate to, Rashford might be, because a lot of us winning in big games is a function of Rashford, as much as those Man U fans don't want to accept. He's the only direct player we have, the only player that can make something happen, only player that can take on when his head is correct. Nobody, I don't want to hear about Garnacho nonsense or Anthony nonsense. Those guys are just there for being their sake for now. Now I feel if Ten Hag is still in charge and he wants to win, he knows what to do. You cannot replace Rashford when he's having a stinker and bring in Garnacho and hope for the best. It cannot be a top team and have that kind of mentality. If you are removing Rashford because he's having a stinker, you should bring in somebody that is going to do the job.
But if you don't have nobody on the bench,
it's a function of him now. When he's wasted 90 million on Anthony, whose fault? Everybody told him.
I don't want to talk about the Anthony transfer.
There's no point now.
There's no point going there. But I do feel like,
and my point about growth and the team he has, he will play the players he has at the end, and you could question the transfer this thing. Yes, it tells you, get me this player. Whether we get the player or not is now a question of the director of football's ability to negotiate and deliver the goods. He isn't.
We don't have a director of football.
We have a CEO and this thing. And what was it called?
The guy we have that is for
Richard Arnold and John Morton.
The guy is just head of negotiation. Adidas executive. He's a lawyer.
No, that's not even part of the in-club setup. That's from Adidas.
Arnold, I've forgotten the guy's name. They just hired him from Adidas. He's a lawyer. He's the one that does the negotiation majorly.
That was even just last season. Yes, that was even this last summer.
Yes, now. So like most of the players we bought this summer, he was the one in charge of the negotiation. They poached him from Adidas. He's a lawyer. We don't have a director of football. Ten Hag currently is serving as the director of football. He's the one who he wants.
Yeah, exactly. He says who he wants, but it's not the one that gets them. Do you get? It's just exactly. So it's still not entirely the guy to blame for all of that. We could have gotten Anthony for cheaper earlier in the summer, but that didn't happen. A number of reasons we can get into, but I want to. Who did make up his mind? All right. That is left to be decided. I want to talk about the derby on Sunday. Well, so far, City have been shaky, and that's because after you win a treble, you definitely still be hungover for a number of games. But you say this is a Pep team, and it's been there before, so he understands that. And so far, their performance hasn't been bad. Haaland already has 9 goals in the Premier League. He's still getting goals. But I feel like with the loss of people like Mahrez and De Bruyne and Gundogan, they are categorically weaker than they are last season. I said this earlier in the season, and fans, a lot of people in my group chat wanted to have my head say, why would you say City are weaker and stuff? No, they are obviously weaker, but because of the quality they have, they can still get wins. They have
I agree that we can.
they have a goal man, like, and also Gundogan. If Gundogan was in the team, they wouldn't be having the midfield issues they have. And Rodri has had to play his life out to get them a lot of the wins they have this season. You see how they struggled when he was out. Without Rodri, they'll be missing out a lot, and it's one way still covering for the cracks there. So City right now, they can definitely be beat. Their defensive issues have been documented over the years. If you get in the right chances, if you get in the right situations and positions, you can score against a City team. But now you don't even know which midfielder plays. Is it going to be Kovacic? Is it going to be Nunez? I feel like before January they'll probably get into groove like they always do and start getting that their run of 17 wins on the bounce that like takes them to the top of the league. But right now, going into this Manchester derby, City can be beat if you know what they are doing. But now the question is, does United know what they are doing? We've seen a very bipolar team since the season began. Played well against Tottenham for the most part, didn't take our chances, and then we lost. And it happened also in most of those games before we eventually went to the international break. Now we are back. We are playing worse, but somehow finding a way to win. You would argue that it's because of the sort of teams you are playing against and the fact that they cannot sustain pressure and take their chances. But then all of that doesn't matter because we have points on the board. Now going into this City game, it's the sort of game that will change the season of the team, because for the past 3 years now we've needed a win like this early in the season to allow us to know what we are doing and start winning. Last season it was Liverpool. This season it could be Manchester City. What I want to see in that game is a very, very good pressing setup. Can we be compact in our press, and can we can we take our chances when we get them? Because one thing is sure, we definitely are going to get chances. If we take those chances, we would increase. Yes, we are definitely going to get chances against City. If we take those chances, then it's going to be really high. If we don't take those chances, then it's just going to be another weekend where United fans lament about where they currently are. But then again, that doesn't determine how our season will be the result of that game, and that is something we all need to not forget. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. I think we have the momentum right now, and I'm predicting that we'll probably get off 3 points. So yeah, looking forward to
meet
that.
again.
Definitely.
And I will laugh. Yeah, but yeah, I'm going to say well, most likely the best you get of the match.
Alright.